everybody, it's Kathy Champion and welcome back to my craft room here at Random Acts of Crafting. We are going to work on I guess you would call this a stamped builder Christmas card. I love this stamp set, Holly and Heels, and I was playing around just as we do so many times in my craft room, and I decided that I wanted to try stamping her. So I stamped her first, and as you can see, when I ink blend, her little legs and feet became green, which that's not the look we're looking for. So I decided that I wanted to redo this card. So what I've done is I have went ahead and cut me a base that is 7 by 10. 7 inches by 10 inches, and I scored it at 5, so this gives us a 5 by 7 card base. I love 5 by 7 cards, y'all know I do. I also cut a mat, and I cut this 6 7/8 by 4 7/8, so that's going to give us a scant amount of a border around the edge. And when I say a scant, it is definitely just that. Just barely a little border around this. I also cut a piece of this beautiful glitter cardstock, and I cut this at 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and that's going to live on top of the black, and again with that very scant border around the edges. So that's where I'm at this point. And now I have a piece of white cardstock, and this is 4 5/8 by 6 5/8. And I know we don't like to do 8s, but it was necessary for me to get the border that I needed. So I want to do my ink blending on this first before I stamp. So I have 2 colors of blue. I have Tumbled Glass, which is a light blue, and I have Broken China, which is a little darker. And I've got 2 of my blending brushes, and y'all know these are makeup brushes, but they blend beautifully. They are so, this is like velvet when you touch it. The bristles are so tight. And these are, I got these on Amazon for, gosh, about $7, $7, $8, something like that. Very inexpensive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my lighter shade of blue, the Tumbled Glass, and I'm going to load up my brush and really get it in there. And as we always do when we are ink blending, I'm going to start on my glass, and I'm just going to come in all the way down, just like that. Go back and pick up some more of that ink, dragging it in. And I'm going to do the same thing up here. Drag that ink in. I think this is such a pretty color of blue ink. And what you want to avoid when you're doing your blending like this is you don't want a gob of color in one particular spot. You want it to look very well blended, thus the word ink blending. So I'm just going to keep working this ink. And if you use small circles, it seems like that it helps the ink get in there a lot better. So I'm just going to continue to pull this ink onto this paper. And I've got plenty of ink here on my work surface, so I'm going to pick up more of that ink. And I want to come in with it, but I don't want to totally eliminate that white middle. So I'm going to grab the smaller brush And I'm going to pick up some more of the ink off of my work surface. And I'm just going to blend this in. That looks really pretty. So it does have appearance of green, and I'm wondering if I had some residue ink that activated when I put this into my ink. I'm not sure. I'm going to move that over to the side, and I am going to get a wipe to clean up a little bit of this ink off of my surface. And just a wet wipe will take this right up. This is the beautiful thing about using a glass mat. It cleans up so pretty. There's hardly anything that will not come off of this glass. And if even alcohol markers, I can put down just a little bit of hand sanitizer because it's alcohol, and it will pick up every bit of that ink. So let's fan this off because we don't want to put that in wet. And I am going to clean this brush just a little bit with this wet wipe. And now I'm going to come into my broken china. This is going to give it much more of a blue look. So let's load up the blue, and now we're going to start here at the corner, and I'm going to work it in. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that beautiful blue. I'm going to turn this because I want to pick up some more of this ink. And continue around the side. Just like this. I want to really blend that in. I don't want it to look like it's, halfway done. So grab some more of that ink. It doesn't matter if you get it on the back of this card because this is going to be glued down on our card base or on our mats. How pretty is that? Gorgeous. I love it. Okay, I'm going to leave that over to the side, and I'm going to clean up my work surface again. And I'm also going to clean this brush just by rubbing it on this wet wipe. I usually do a test on my hand to see if anything's coming off, and it's not. I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller one. I'm going to clean it too. I always feel like our tools are such an investment that we really do need to take very good care of our tools. So when I purchase something that I put money into, I try my best to take as good a care as possible, because that way you won't have to buy it again, and that makes things much better. So now we have this blended. So what I want to do is I'm going to pull out my Misty, and I'm going to do the big Misty this time. And the reason I'm going to do that is because you got to be so careful with these magnets, because are they strong? They are super strong. And I'm going to lay these over here because I don't think I need my framing squares. I just want to put this down, and I want to put a couple of these magnets on each corner, just like that. And I want to get Holly and Heels. I should have pulled the stamp set prior to starting my video, but I didn't. Okay, so this is the little girl that I used in the first one, and I'm thinking I'm going to use her again because I really love the way that card turned out. Now, my inking on the other one was much bluer than this one, so I'm thinking I might want to go back with a darker blue, but then maybe not. Maybe the screen might give it a really good look, so let's go with it. Now I'm going to pull off our little girl, and I want her to be standing right about here. And I want the Merry Christmas right above her, right here. And I want to put her stack of presents right about there. And her shopping bag, we are going to sit it right here. Alright, that gives me all my stamps where I wanted them. And again, this is Maymay's Holly and Heels stamp set. For any of you that may be interested in purchasing it. And I am an affiliate to her store, so I will put that in my description below. So if you want to go over and pick up that stamp set before the Christmas holidays are over, you can do so. And if you use my link, I get a little bit of kickback, not much, but you know, a little something something. And I always say a little something something is better than nothing nothing. So if you want to purchase through my link, it doesn't take anything at all away from you. You can still use your discounts and everything. It just helps bring me a little bit of product for me using Maymay's product. I mean, a little bit of extra change for using Maymay's products on my channel. So it's like a win-win. Okay, so that's pretty much where I want that. So now I'm going to have to decide how I want to ink this. My Merry Christmas I want to ink in my VersaFine. Oops, I dropped my ink. Sorry about that. I do want to ink this up with the VersaFine because I love my sentiments done in the VersaFine because it's such a crispy, beautiful image. So I know I want that done in this one. But these other colors I want to use alcohol markers, so I'm going to use my Memento black, tuxedo black ink on those because I'm going to be coloring these images. Get it over on a solid surface. I am going to be coloring these using an alcohol markers, my Nuvos, which I know I love. So I'm going to ink these up really, really good. And I'm going to grab a white because I've already made a boo-boo. I know I heard so many of y'all say, I get ink everywhere. So do I. So it's okay. It's all the process of playing with our stamps and our ink pads. You're going to get ink on you. It's just a necessary evil of the trade. So, you know, embrace it. Keep some wet wipes beside you where you can clean up yourself and your surface. I'm just going to bring this over and give it a good press. Now, Nuvo has come out with some hybrid inks that they say you can use for alcohol. Oh, that turned out really pretty. I am going to do Holly one more time, just because I want a nice crisp image of her. And we're going to press that down. But like I was saying, there are some hybrid inks. Nuvo has come out with one, and I tried it in red, and I do have that color in my store, because I know everybody was clamoring for red ink during the holidays, so I wanted to be able to offer you a red ink pad for those that don't have one. And here's the Nuvo hybrid. These are gorgeous. Look at the color. Isn't that beautiful? They look like they're very juicy. There's the ink in the top of the cap. It looks like you might even... Oh, sorry. I don't mean to yawn, but I have been extremely tired lately. I think it's just the time of the season, trying to get too many things done. But yeah, see, that wipes off. But it looks like you could definitely do some ink blending with this one as well. It's a beautiful color. So I'm going to order some black and try it and see how I like it. And I'll let y'all guys know what I think. Okay. I think we're good with this. So I am going to use a little bit of squeaky clean. Y'all know I'm such a stickler for cleaning my stamps. And I'm just going to use my microfiber. And I'm just going to rub these off right here. I hate to think that my stamps are left dirty. I don't know if y'all are like that, but again, this is what I'm talking about with an investment. You know, your stamp sets are an investment that will last you forever if you take good care of them. So, stamps are not cheap, and especially if you get a good photopolymer stamp. So I say take care of your investment. Now I am going to go ahead and pull these stamps off. Just like so. And this did turn out greener than I wanted it, but I'm going to go with it because I think it's really pretty in that muted green, turquoise, teal, whatever color you want to call this. But I love that look. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get some colors out of pens that I want to use. So I don't know if y'all seen these, but I do want to bring this over and show you. I'm going to set this one over here just for a moment because this one doesn't have the Nuvo pens in it. This is what I am so excited about. These are the Nuvo alcohol mark pen holders. And look at this. They are gorgeous. Now they sit like this or either like this. You can sit them vertical or horizontal. I have mine horizontal. They hold your pens. They actually sit on top of each other with a rubber grip very well. They hold your pens in that vertical position where you need them. For alcohol markers, you never want to store them vertical. You want to keep them in a horizontal level feel, because the alcohol will settle to the end and it will dry the ink in them, and then your markers will not be any good. Always shake your alcohol markers before you use them. I tend to do that, but you don't need to do it quite as often with them sitting in this orientation. These are in my store, so if you're interested in picking up one of those, head over to my store, randomactsofcrafting.com, and I will link this in the video as well. And just a little plug for these. I think you will really enjoy these. If you've been like me and you have been searching for a beautiful way to store your alcohol markers, this is it. So far I have collected all of the Nuvo colors. I'm hoping they'll come out with some new colors come the first of the year. And I have space to add to my collection once they do. So I have 3 of these stacked, and they, like I said, they stack beautifully. It's very easy to get to your colors. The display looks beautiful on your desk. So for all those reasons, I've been very, very pleased with that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some colors. I'm thinking that I want her hair to be brown. So let me see. This brown right here is 461. So I'm going to do her hair in this color. So I'm going to grab my glasses so I can see really good what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here with her hair. And I'm just very lightly. You don't want to put a lot of pressure on these. You don't need to. They are that they are just that easy to color with. So I'm making my girl a brown-haired girl, and you can do her as a redhead. You could do her as a beautiful blonde. It is totally up to you. I'm partial to brunettes because before I became a silver fox, or before I became an old lady in grade, I did have a very dark brown hair. So I do embrace the brunette. The next thing I want to do is I want to grab a red. So I'm going to take this medium red, 379, and I want to do this bow in red. And then I'm going to grab a green, and I'm going to use a woodland green. Let's see, maybe 415. And this is called Pine Grove. And I'm going to color this bow green. Just like that. And one thing I didn't do is I didn't carry my tails from this bow down. So I'm going to go back and color those in. You have to be careful when you're doing small areas with the Nuvo alcohol markers because the alcohol does spread. So I want to go in now with a pink, and I think I'm going to use the pink taffy. This is one of the new ones that's in the Nuvo collection called Pink Flamingo. And I am going to color this package, this pink. Now I know a lot of you said you love to watch me color. So for you that don't, please feel free to fast forward past the coloring. But if you do enjoy the coloring, please stay and watch. I know it's totally a preference. Sometimes I'm in the mood to watch people color, and then other times maybe not so much. So it depends on the day, and it depends on my mood, and so many variables. So I think that's good. Now I am going to put my green back and my red. I do like to put my pens back as I use them. That way I do not run into the chance of causing them getting them mixed, I don't know where they go. Now this one is 413. It's a little bit lighter shade green, but I want this box right here to be green. I think it just looks pretty with that red ribbon. And I'm really not doing any shading. I'm kind of doing flat colors here. And I want a blue. So I am going to choose 428. This is Blueprint. And we're going to do this box here, that color. You know, Holly reminds me a lot of Wilson because you never ever see her face. And I think that's the mystery and the aloof of Miss Holly. She's kind of hiding out from everybody. Now let's see, I'm going to come in with a purple, and I think I want to do this 441. These are the royal purples, and I'm going to do the bottom of this one. Just like that. And now I'm going to use an orange. And I'm going to grab the medium orange. It's this orange. This is Tiger Lily. And I'm going to do an orange right here. And then I'm going to grab the darker color there that is called Plum Tomato, and I'm going to do the top of this, that color. And then I may grab just a little bit more orange. And let's see, what color do we want this to be? I am thinking a red. And I'm going to go in for my dark red, which is 381. Okay, that looks really pretty. Now I also want to do her skirt, and I did the first one I did it in red. I'm trying to decide, do I want to do it in red or do I want to do it in another color? And I really think I want to do the red. So I'm going to come in with the lighter shade of red, which is 377. Now when you're coloring like this, you want to try to be as careful as you can not to go out of the line, because you're not going to be cutting away anything. Oh, I like that. That is so pretty. Okay, this is the lighter red. So I'm going to come back with the medium red, and just where her pleats are at, I'm going to go in and put a little definition. A little bit around the waist. And then I'm going to come back with that lighter color, and I'm going to blend that out. Alright, I really like the way that turned out. So my pins back, and I want to decide what color I want the shopping bag to be. And I'm thinking I want to do something in a dark blue, because I want something that's going to cover I cannot stop yawning, and I really think it's because I had a rough night sleep last night. I did not sleep well. I'm going to come back and do a lighter shade of blue on the inside of that shopping bag. And again, this is in the same indigo ink. This is Blueprint. And there we go. And so now I want to come back over here, and before we go any further, let's do Holly's legs. And I want to do the fair skin tone. Make sure that I'm using the right color. And this is the color chart from Nuvo. So 318. Or 373, 373, 475. So I think I'm going to go with this medium color, the 475. And it's really nice to have one of these Nuvo alcohol marker color charts, because it does help you to see what colors you want to use. It also helps you to see what colors you have, so that way you know when you get ready to order the colors you don't have, and you can try to... I am so sorry, y'all. You can see what colors you have and what colors you don't have, which colors you need to order. So that's what I was trying to say before my mouth just popped open in another yawn. Alright, the only thing I have left to do is I want to color these packages down here. So let's see. I am going to go with a darker green, and this is Spectra Green. So I am going to color that one, and let's do this one a very pretty purple. Oops, that's blue. 441 is a beautiful shade of purple. I'm loving the way this is coming together. I think it's very pretty. It's very festive. I am going to go in with another red, and I'm going to do this darker 381. And I am going to color this package. And I think I want to do an orange on this one. And I want to come back with a very pretty dark pink bow. And you know, one thing you don't have to do when you're wrapping presents, you don't have to make everything match. I think this is coming together beautifully, and there we go. Now the last thing that I want to do is I think I want to ink blend a little bit more right in here. Then I don't. I think I'm going to leave it like it is. I did want some difference in this one and the first one I did, and I think I'm getting that difference, so and that's a good thing. I'm going to let this completely dry, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back, and what I have done is I did go back over this, and I used a little bit darker blue, and I think I used Salty Ocean. Let me pull out my ink and I'll show you which one I used, and I think that gave it much more of a blue look, and I do like the way that blended. Salty Ocean, yes, this is the one that I used that gave me a deeper blue color around the edge. So just wanted to, you know, let you know exactly what I had done, and I did do this off camera. I was trying to get something that would help blend that, and of course we colored our packages, and now we want to go back and we want to add some stickles to our packages and things like that. So let's see, I am going to grab some colors, and I'm going to start off with this purple, and I want to just stickle these purple presents. A little bit of glimmer on these I think will be so cute. It adds so much when you put a little bit of dimension on these. I also want to use a little bit of red, and I have this Christmas red, which is perfect. And what I want to do is put a little bit here on this bow. Now when you're using your stickles, be very careful not to get too much, because you can make a mess out of your project really fast. And another thing that you can do to help spread it, if you put down just a little bit, you can actually use the tip of your stylus tool. And let's see, let me show you what I'm talking about. Like this is the one of the stylus tools. This has the big ball on the end and the very fine tip on the other end. And what you can do is use that fine tip just to help you move that stickles where you want it. And that does help quite a bit. Now, I would suggest to have a tissue or a wet wipe or something that you can use to wipe that off as you do that. And here's another place where I need to move that down just a little bit. Get that bubble out of there just a bit. Just like that. And I think I do need to grab a wet wipe. I have one right here that I had laid over my trash can. I do that quite often because it's wet and I don't want it to get on any of my paper. This looks like I did do a little bit of an overkill on that purple right there. So I'm just going to try to even that up a little bit. That looks a lot better. Now we're also going to need a pink. Now if you do not have the colors that you need, you can always go with the diamond stickles, which any of y'all that know me know that I love the diamond. And if you don't have the color, this diamond stickles will pick up whatever color is in the background. And let me show you. It is gorgeous. And I'm just going to put a little bit right there, and a little bit right there, and a little bit right here. Now I am going to use my tool again just to kind of move this around. Now this is very much a make a fuss card because we are fussing over it, and there's a lot of little details and you have to wait in between your process. And you know, this might not be a card that you want to do right now this close to Christmas, unless you have that one certain someone that you really want to do something extra special for, and then this would definitely be the perfect card for that. Now on the orange, I am going to just put a tiny bit, and I believe this is grapefruit. Just a little bit right there. And I do have a green, and I love this green. I think it's so pretty. And this one is just simply green. It's just called green. And I'm going to put a little bit of this on this bow. The good thing about the stickles, you can actually see when it's coming down. So you can kind of see when it's coming out, so you know what you got, how much you got coming into play. Now I'm going to run just a tiny bit up here and down to there. And it's so amazing how much just a little dab of stickles can add to your project. I'll tell you what, let's go down here and do this present. This one was green. These faded out a little bit when I did the ink blending, but it's okay. I'm going to use the end of my tool again and just help me move a little bit of the stickles coloring around. Just like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to put a little bit of this purple. I just put like one little squirt, and then I'm just going to color in using my little stylist. These little stylists are so great. They come in handy for so many things, from scoring to picking up embellishments and placing them, to moving your stickles around. They are just really a neat little tool set to have in your stash. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do on that one. I do need some blue because I want to bring out that blue package, and I'm thinking I might just do the diamonds on it. So let's put a little bit of diamonds. And we got a little bit of green up there at the top, but you know it's a lighter green, so I think I'm going to go with this one. So we keep that lightness so it doesn't kind of fade into the dark. Okay, now let's see if we can move this a little bit right there. And that a little bit there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, let's see what other colors I have. I got this really pretty frozen color. And let's put a little bit on our bag. And of course, you know, you always put your hands in your stickles. I never fail to put my hands in it. So be careful when you're doing this not to stitch your side of your hand down in your stickles that you've already done. And I'm just going to move that around a little bit on this bag, covering the front of it, and a little bit here on the side. And that makes for a very festive shopping bag, I would say. I'm going to put just a tiny bit right there. And we need to put something up here on our Merry Christmas. And let's see. I have got some black diamonds. Doesn't that sound just stunningly beautiful? I'm going to turn this around so I don't put my hands in it, and I'm going to go about doing this one this way. And all I'm going to do is just kind of follow the lines of these letters. This is going to give you a little bit more oomph in your lettering. I think it's going to be beautiful. You just got to be careful. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? A little dot right there. This is also bringing this back to life where we kind of stickled over it or blended. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have been sneezing. Sorry. And see what happens when you sneeze? You always make a mess. I'm going to try to pick this up off of here very, very carefully without making a super mess. I am so sorry, y'all. I did not mean to sneeze all over everybody. And my sneezing did not help me in getting this made like I wanted it either. So I do apologize. My allergies are always kicking. And this is not turning out quite the way I wanted it to. Yep, this is definitely not what I was looking for. So let's try taking that off. And you know what? This just goes to show you can fix something if it messes up. It's no big deal. We are going to rub that off like that. And I may even take another piece and glue it up there to cover that. So if you do make, this is a prime example, if you make a boo-boo like I just did, and we all do it, let's just try to fix it. Don't feel like, oh no, all of this work is in vain. It's not. We can go back and do a little repair on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab if I can find my right ink. It was right here in front of me the whole time. Alright, I'm going to wipe my hands with a wet wipe real quick and get this glitter off of them because I do have it all over me. All part of the process in crafting. So, you know, don't get upset with yourself or the project or even your mistake because if y'all, a lot of you do know Bill Phillips, and he always says that you know, a mistake is another opportunity for creativity, and I totally agree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blend out a little bit of ink on here, just like that, just to kind of take out that discoloring that happened. And then I am going to go back with a black Sharpie. If we can't fix it this way, we will find another way to do it. But again, I'm going to turn it around so I don't put my arms in my stickles. And I'm just going to follow the lines on my stamp set. And if this does not turn out like I want it to, I'll just try something else. There's no shame in you know, getting creative. That's really looking muddy, so I'm not embracing this. So this is where we're going to go to step B, and I am going to find a pretty piece of paper. Maybe, since we're going to coordinate with the black and this, maybe I'm going to get a piece of black and a piece of this, and I think I'm going to die cut an oval that will fit over top of that. So let's see what we can come up with. Let me grab my supplies that I need to do this with, and I will be right back. Okay everybody, I am back. What I have done is I went ahead and glued down the base, the black matte, to the card base, and also this glitter paper. And I did have some difficulties getting my fix for this. I originally did this. It did not work. It was way too big. It covered her head. So I had to go back and kind of revamp. I did want to use this Merry Christmas, so what I did is I stamped it in white, the Alabaster Brutus Monroe pigment ink in the color Alabaster. And then I used my Nuvo fine detail embossing powder in glacier white, and I heat embossed it. I didn't think to use my powder tool because I wasn't going to heat emboss. I thought that just the glacier white would be good enough. It wasn't. So as you can see, I have had problem after problem with getting this card to come together. But nevertheless, we are here to where we're ready to put this base onto our card. So I am going to use some art glitter glue, and I am going to go ahead and squeeze out my glue if it's not clogged, and it may be clogged. Yeah, I am not getting the ink to come, the glue to come through. I have just been completely miscombobulated all day today. I do apologize for that. I think it's just too much going on, too many things that I need to do and have to do, and I'm sure everybody can relate. It's that busiest time of the year. But you know what? Christmas will be over next week at this time. We can kind of settle back in, get ready for New Year's, and look forward to 2020. Time is just marching by way too fast for me. I'm sure that a lot of you feel the same way. But now I am going to go ahead and put this down, trying my best to get it as even on here as I can. Just like that. And I think we pretty much got this card to come together. Not the way I had hoped, but nevertheless together. So the only thing we need to do now is, I did pop this up. I didn't glue this directly down. I put it on some dimensional tape. I don't know if you can tell. It does have a little dimension, and I haven't done anything on the inside. I do want to put down a black mat and then a white piece of paper, or mat this in black and then mat the black piece in white. And then I think I'm going to stamp or either hand write a sentiment on the inside of this one. But here we go with two different cards, both done the same way, but both of them look totally different. This one has a little bit more border around it. It's done a little bit lighter. It actually looks smaller. It is smaller. I think I did cut this one down to kind of fit my my borders. I did put this Merry Christmas on the inside of this one, and Happy New Year. This one came out a little different, but nevertheless it is a pretty card. My packages were done in different colors, as you can see. You can see that everything is sparkly, the same with this one. So they are both identical but yet very different, and I hope that you enjoyed the process of watching me bring these two cards together, or this one card together. The other one I had done off camera. So anyway, I hope that you will try using your stamps to create a card front. And again, this was all from one stamp set, and I just made a scene, and I hope that you will do the same. I want to thank you so much for tuning in with me again today. I'm trying to get this card in the center here so you can see exactly what I did without my clutter. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. And we'll bring this down. And we'll just put them both side by side. And I got a little bit of stickles right here that I didn't really want to drag my card into, but I cleaned it up, I think. So there we go. Totally different. I don't know which one you like the best. I think they're both pretty, and they're both pretty in their own special way. So I hope that you will think about doing this, not just for Christmas, but maybe even for birthdays or whatever. Take one stamp set and see what you can do in making a card. And I've got some other things that I want to bring to you, so I am going to get busy on the rest of my projects, and we will go from there. But anyway, God bless you all. Thank you once again for tuning in, and let everything you do and say bring glory to our Lord Jesus. He's so worthy, and we are a blessed people to be able to call him our Savior. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you all, And Merry Christmas!